Well, right, Samhain, happy Halloween, however you mark it. My name's Talis Kimberley. Here I am again for another kitchen session from my kitchen sofa. And I've got a hatful of songs here to sing to you. Whether you mark tonight not at all, or by a bit of folklore, or by dressing up, giving out sweets, all of that shenanigans, lights and plastic skulls and all the things, or whether you sit quietly and remember you're dead and light a candle and think of the people you've lost and maybe have a little cry and then kind of cuddle the thoughts of them. It's all good. It's all good. I really should have written down. Well, although I did write it down. I'm trying to kind of create a code for how to figure out which chords I'm playing on the concertina. There's probably a very clever way that people use to notate it. I mean, you could always just go, yeah, this is F sharp minor, and that's B flat, and that's the key of D. Or you could do what I've done, which is make little blobs in little pictures and fill them in, and then forget that I've done that and have to kind of make something out of the way. There we go. Right. Okay. This is very new. I wrote it this morning. Unlock the doors and fling them wide. Every window be left open. This is the season of the dead. All my ghosts, I bid you welcome. Between the worlds, between the years, I offer you my blessing and hold all my beloved dead in thankful bright remembering. Unlock the doors and fling them wide. Every window be left open. This is the season of the dead. All my ghosts, I bid you welcome. So bring your candles and your cats, your apple cake, your knitting, and sing to your beloved dead, for they will be here listening. Unlock the doors and fling them wide. Every window be left open. This is the season of the dead. All my ghosts, I bid you welcome. All my ghosts, I bid you welcome. All my ghosts, I bid you welcome. Now, what I would really like would be to have the comments scroll while the rest of what I can look at stayed still. And I'm not getting that. Oh, no, now I am. Good, hurrah. Thank you, a comment that was just what I needed, so I can get everything set up and see what I'm doing, more or less. Thank you, that was fun that. That fell out of a conversation this morning, and I thought, yeah, need to make that happen if possible. It's lovely to see you here. Thank you for joining me. I know there are lots of exciting things one could be doing on a night like this, but preferably if it isn't raining the way it was earlier. The hammering on the skylight was quite remarkable. So here I am with my pumpkin. I haven't carved my pumpkin. It's too small to carve. Do you want to see my pumpkin? There is my pumpkin. There is my one and only pumpkin of the year. Yeah, it's supposed to be, it's a little blue curry squash. I had one seed germinate of these, and of that, one little squash. I say squash, it's hard as a cricket ball, really. Absolutely like a cricket ball. Of course, I could have carved this patty pan squash. of which I had several, but mostly they hid under the comfrey and the brambles and the other things that I didn't weed very well. So we didn't have many patty pans this year. So there we go, squash, pumpkin. That's my uncarved, but hey, let's put those down there. Well, yeah, got to kick off with a brand new song that I hardly know, haven't you? Hello Barbara, hello Joseph, hello Lexi and Rick and the cat, Marina, miniature fruit, yes absolutely. Hello Stacey, hello lots of people, fantastic, thank you for joining me. Right, I've got quite a few ghosts and spookies tonight. Some of you know that I've been writing songs like, it's like swimming through a hurricane of words at the moment in my head. If one could swim through a hurricane. It's a bit bonkers. I've been writing a lot of songs, and very many of them are spookies. They have ghosts, or they have monsters, or they have changelings, or they're eerie in one way or another. And it's just been lovely to be able to put them together and go, I know I can do at the end of October. I've got to do a spooky kitchen session. One of them came out of a conversation on Twitter, as one does. I follow quite a few folklore threads on Twitter. Hookland is one, and Tales from the Sacred Isle is another, well worth a follow. I'm very interested in the moment in not just the folklore that already exists, but in what folklore we are creating, things that might be commonplace and prosaic now, but in times to come, we might look back and think, oh yes, that's a little bit this and a little bit that. I mean, if you walk down some ancient lane with a quirky name that's hardly on a map, and there's a ruined this and an old stone that, and a story that they tell you about what used to live in the other. You think once upon a time those things were present tense for people living there, and the present becomes kind of magical and mythical with the passage of time. Is that sort of like the opposite of a half-life? I don't know, things get more magical the older they get. I'm burbling. I'm just thinking a lot about folklore right now, and exploring the sort of folklore that we can see emerge where we live. Here in Wroughton, for example, the chicken tree. Yes, the dear departed lamented chicken tree, which was a tree that looked like a chicken, and when you drive past you'd make chicken noises. Of course you would. And many of us still make chicken noises, even though the poor tree got decapitated and no longer looks like a chicken. But once it did. So there's going to come a time when people are making chicken noises passing that tree, and somebody won't know why, because they won't have known that it looked like a chicken once upon a time. And maybe somebody else will forget. There's an analogy about what is it, monkeys and stepladders, I think, where sort of folk memory trundles on, and the origins of a thing get lost and forgotten, but you still do the thing because that's what you do. Anyway, so folklore Twitter conversation. Bridges. How do bridges get haunted? Why are bridges haunted? Are all bridges haunted? We've got the thing about trolls, you know, and the goats trip trap over the bridge. Bridges, of course, are liminal spaces in between. They're a whole nother place of their own. And when I got to thinking about bridges and why they get haunted, I figured out that, well, this is me making up folklore out of whole cloth, you know, that when you make a bridge, you create a whole lot of new spaces that didn't exist. So I figured I needed to write a song about that. And I thought, I wonder if bridges have a patron saint. And of course they do, because everything does. So, hello Mark, fantastic. From the folk, yes. Oh, the folk at Gloucester. I had such fun up at the folk of Gloucester the other week doing apple songs, apple and autumn songs, and wrote a couple of new ones for that. Anyhow, bridges. This is me going off at tangents, burbling. If you've seen a kitchen session before, you know this is what happens. You're here for that. You've got your knitting, you've got your cats. Anyway, patron saint of bridges, St. Benedict, or also known as St. Benezet, apparently, or I dare say it's said Benezet or something. But in my song, it's Benezet because that's scanned and that fitted. So there we are. This is a song called The Unchosen. It's a spooky. Upon the feast of Benezet, as I walked all alone, I seized upon the notion to take the long way home. So I fetched myself an ashen log all out the nearby wood, and laid it all across the stream, where before no bridge had stood. No more than halfway over, the hair rose on my arms. I should have brought a witch stone or worn protective charms. Then the whispering began, and unseen fingers pulled my hair. You builder of the bridge, thou fool, you should have shown more care. For you have made a crossing here, and a crossing is a door that lets in your unchosen ghosts who never spoke before. Oh, but you have made us places wherein we safe may dwell, and we were quiet then, but now you'll listen while we tell. Upstream said, I am the paths you wish you had not missed. Downstream said, I am the loves you wish that you had kissed. Overside said, I am words you wish you never spoke. And underside, the promises you wish you never broke. This end of the bridge said, I long for chances lost. That end of the bridge said, I am lies and what they cost. And the six of them together tallied each and all my fears, the chosen and unchosen paths of all my living years. I did not ask permission of the stream I made to cross. I built a bridge, I paid the price. Be wiser for my loss. They made of me the seventh ghost, and on this bridge I'll stay. For I made a bridge where bridge was none, upon Benazet's day. It's true though, isn't it? You put a bridge somewhere, you're making places that weren't there before. And each of those places can get haunted or acquire trolls or whatever. It's folklore. It's fun. There's the rain again. I'm all set up here. I've got the house to myself, apart from the small furry beasties. So if there are things going bump in the night, it will be the small furry beasties. And if one of them gets up among the teapots, I will have to leave to go and rescue him. And it will be Ambrose, because there isn't space on the teapot shelf for a cat, but that doesn't necessarily stop him. Sadly, I thought it did. Okay. Proper old school haunting. Yes, thank you. I thought so. Right, off with the glove. The science of what kind of fingerless mittens I can use and wear while doing what kind of music. It's a whole thing. Right. So this one leans into the Welsh side of me that I've decided to claim because I don't know an awful lot about where my family comes from. But I put little bits of threads together, and a bit of Welsh seems quite likely from some of the clues that my mum did kind of leave behind. And really, who's to know? I mean, no one's going to look at me and say, well, yes, you're obviously of good Scandinavian Viking stock, aren't you, Talis? You know, I'm short and, yeah, brown hair and... Call your ravens, call your rooks. wrap your cloak around me, from the nettle path along the brook to the beechwood where you found me. Call your ravens, call your rooks, tell the rain to wait now. Only take my hand and follow me through the kissing gate now. Call your ravens, call your rooks, while the light is with us. I will gladly answer all you ask, and none but trees to see us. Oh, Darwin, Darwin, Darwin and Will, Darwin and Will and William. Darwin, Darwin, Darwin and Will, Darwin and Will and William. Call your ravens, call your rooks, gentle be and wild. I am wanting, willing, wishing all. I know myself beguiled. Call your ravens, call your rooks, Darwinbach, Vincariat, so bright the day, so sweet the dance, and William, oh caveat, Darwin, Darwin, Darwin and Will, Darwin and Will and William. Darwin, Darwin, Darwin and Will, Darwin and Will and William. Call your ravens, call your rooks, with tender spells you bind me. Now my roots go deep, my branches yearn. In the beechwood you will find me. My roots go deep and my branches yearn. In the beechwood you will find me. Call your ravens, Darwin, Darwin and Will. Call your ravens, Darwin and William. Call your ravens, Darwin, call your ravens and William. When Courtin now. Bit of Welsh for you. If it's mispronounced, I am so sorry. I have been trying. Do I need to scroll the comments? Not there, I don't. Because if I do that, I can't see what else is going on. What if I do that? Nope, there we go. Okay. Yeah, so ghouls and ghosts and dead things and dead people and quite often the sea and all sorts of these things have been cropping up so much in my songs at the moment. You may or may not have heard me burble or seen me burble about the fact that I'm putting together a song cycle, which is very exciting. Having songs that actually sit together in the same place mentally. After years of writing a shanty, a political song, something historical, something mythic, something silly about spoons, something very intense, something in a foreign language, something else political, something very angry, something very sad, something else about knitting, something about history. It's kind of been like that for much of my songwriting life. And right now I've got this clutch of things that fit together. I'm really pleased with that because it means I can put them together and use them to build something hopefully a bit special. I'm having great fun working through how to shape a song cycle out of things and make a journey out of it. So I have hopes of doing something quite intense and immersive and magical and a bit special with that. Oh, a true kitchen session. You're in your kitchen, Barbara, and roasting veggies. Lovely, super. I've got so yeah. I could add something to add to the pot. Right. Okay. So what am I going to do next? It's going to be another ghost story. And oh, I'm really glad you're there, Barbara, because I think this is one that you mentioned you enjoyed when you heard it. I don't really understand this song. I'll tell you that from the outset. I found the lyrics in a bundle of things I was going through. I wrote the lyrics in 2011. So and then I turned it into a song and kind of redid it. And thought there's a good song in here. It's just not quite all the way out yet. Does anybody remember a thing called Chip Away? It was one of those toys that was advertised in the UK when I was a kiddie. I don't think I even saw one for real. It was in the catalogues, it was on the adverts at Christmas time. It looked fascinating. The idea was that you'd have presumably some kind of tools, and there was a, presumably, because I never had one, plastic something encased in some other kind of something, and you kind of chip away the bits as if you were a sculptor and reveal the thing inside. And it was something it's kind of stuck in my head. It was one of those things I always wanted, never had. Sometimes writing a song for me is a lot like that. There's a sense of there's a song in here, but at the moment it's got a whole lot of stuff around it that doesn't belong there, and it's not quite the right shape yet. And I need to kind of spiral on making it what it wants to be. It's very much one of those. It's called Look at Me. Out where the black whale's singing, only the mermaids hear, beneath all yesterday's skies. Oh, if I can be the strong one, maybe I'll see the dawn. Is that my face reflected in your eyes? Take my hand, can you see? Look at me. The sea tells every story, not only yours and mine. The sea holds nothing but the sea. How did I reach this pier end? How did I reach this pier end? Shaking with rising dread. Is this where I'm supposed to be? Take my arm, don't touch me. Can you see right through me? Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Storms approaching quickly, storms already killed me. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Don't look at me. I never knew you so scared, soaked through in the thin like ice. What storm has broken your soul? See, I gathered the floating pieces. One of them held your face. I think this sea has swallowed us all. Take my arm, don't touch me. Can you see right through me? Look at me, look at me, look don't look at me. This was in my pocket, this is my pocket, and this isn't my coat. I think it's a picture of me, 'cause I look so thin, and the more I look, the more afraid I am. This isn't my face, and yet it's me. God, oh God, and the grey waves coming in. Tethys tells every story, her sea is vast and deep. Tethys claims everything in time. Where have you gone? I cannot see you, and I cannot take your hand. I am your ghost, as you are mine. Take my arm, can you see? Look at me. Don't look at me, don't look at me. You already killed me. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Don't look at me. Whew. It's a hard one to do sitting down, that. So somebody's dead, probably drowned, possibly two people, or two iterations of the same person. I don't know. Answers on a postcard. Honestly, yeah. You figure out what story that's going on there. I don't know. I'm on to something a little light-hearted now, and also a lot less new. I've got a couple of really old songs in my grab bag today. One of which I was asked specifically for the words of this by a friend online. And I hauled it out and thought, that's a giggle. I could do that for a Spookies kitchen session. Of course I could. This is one of the things you write and you look at it and you think, why? What? But there it is. It's early Americana, isn't it? Yes. It's a sort of Americana song that I wrote before what I've been saying was the first kind of Americana song, because I'd forgotten about this one. My bad. And I haven't done this one for ages. This one dates from 1994. So last century, darling. Bit of tuning, I think. I put the cap on and very silly song. Young lovers come out when the sun goes down. The lights come up all over the town. Evenings made for romance. They don't want to hang about. Plenty of time for sitting in bars, dancing up a storm and driving their daddy's cars, parking somewhere pretty secluded and making out. Now the regular folks like their sunset treat. Not all of us consider the sun so sweet. Vampires do their courting when the moon is going down, 'cause we live our days when the stars are high. Our twilight comes when that glow is in the sky. Can't take long to make up your mind. Where are we gonna sleep now, your coffin or mine? Lovers like us, we got trouble enough. Keeping undercover can be pretty tough. Blood's getting hard to come by, and no one wants to raise a fuss. Even the dead have got jobs to do. By the time I'm finished, babe, I'm hungry for you. Let's skip the after dinner mince, babe, and talk about us. Now the regular folks got the night ahead. We got no time to lose, we're already once dead. Vampires do their courting when the moon is going down, 'cause we live our days when the stars are high. Our twilight comes when the flowers in the sky. Can't stay alone and make up your mind. Where we gonna sleep now? Your coffin, or got no time for these subtle games. There's stones up in the cemetery wearing our names, but thicker than water, sweeter than wine. And where we gonna sleep now? Your coffin or mine? Your coffin or mine? Your coffin or mine, honey? Your coffin or mine? Ha! Vampires Courting from 1994. Flippin' Henry. My mumbling has Orpheus overtones. Oh, I'm looking forward to reading back and understanding that. Right, yeah, do. I love when people, honestly, if you find something in my song and the story goes off in another direction, great, do that. It's all good fun. All good fun. What is it? Art is in the kind of the eye and the ear of the beholder. Yeah, I may write a song that I think means something and somebody hears it and they think it means something different. And if it means that to them, that's valid. That's perfectly valid. Sometimes the artwork has more in it than the creator put there, I think, knowingly. There we go. Oh, Persis, you remember that, huh? Goodness. Yeah, we go back away, don't we? Right, I am going to do a tuning check because otherwise it'll all be horrible on the next one. Except it would make sense if I do it on the right capo setting, wouldn't it? Yeah. Actually, I'm going to squidge that a little bit more on the new shiny new shub. Oh, shiny new shub capo. I went to those nice people up at Kempster's, and the chap in there, I went in with guitar number 1, the blonde, and then I went and collected the blonde and gave him the blue, and then I collected the blue and gave him the bouzouki, and then I collected the bouzouki, and by the end he was greeting me by name. I rang up to see if the bouzouki was ready. I got as far as, hello, I brought a bouzouki in for restringing and servicing there. Oh yeah, it's ready, Talis, he says. It's quite nice. Quite nice. So they're all sounding great. Shall I do them in this order or that order? I'll do them in this order. Here's another song from almost as long ago. This one dates to 1995. And there's probably a whole bunch of people there listening who've not heard this one, which is going to be great fun because it's a song that a lot of folks really used to love me singing, and some friends covered it, and that was lovely. It was a mainstay of my set many years ago in all sorts of gigs, all sorts of settings, particularly with my band Mythical Beasts from donkeys years ago. John, Kieran, hi guys, that was fun. We had fun. Sticking with the theme, and I wrote this. Do you know? No, I wrote it, and then bits of it kind of came true. Paul, if you're listening and catch this, the lanterns in the branches. Janet and Hitch, if you get to hear this. Death danced at my party. I didn't invite him, but everyone wanted to know who he was. I lied that he once gave me lessons. I'm going to start that again. I've been practicing this. It's just that it matters, and so I go all sausage fingers and forget it. Death danced at my party. I didn't invite him, but everyone wanted to know who he was. night that he once gave me lessons on Spanish guitar. I'm sure he was charming. Didn't he dance well? Jessica tells me he flirted with style. Shouldn't he know after all how to make a girl smile? But where are the roses and lilies I ordered? And let's have champagne for my guests. The trees all have lanterns alight in their branches. The staff are impeccably dressed. So why is death here? He can't make me go with him. The part is not over for ours. Death danced at my party. I didn't invite him, but he was the centre of all that went on. I didn't notice till then that the music had gone. So where are the cellos and violins? Where is the sensual saxophone man? And who was that gallant in white tux and ponytail down where the apple trees stand? And why is death here? He can't make me go with him. I haven't danced once yet tonight. Death danced at my party. I didn't invite him, but leaving they all said the party was fine. Till no one was left but the two of us, his fate and mine. So where is my courage gone now that it matters? And where are my questions and my pleas? He holds out his hand with a smile I could kiss. A path opens out through the trees. He says the river's not far, señorita. And I think I'll go with him. The river sounds lovely tonight. It's lovely. I've got folks here who are hearing that for the first time and folks here who've heard me sing that many years ago. Haunted Walk, the arsenic barrier. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Rattling through these. Let's see. I've got pins and needles in my right foot. I think I need to get elephant feet for the sofa. We know what elephant feet are, don't we? Yeah? Little blocks to put the sofa on. Because if the sofa was up a little higher, I could sit a little straighter. This is not comfy. It's not sustainable. But if I sit differently, I can't play the guitar very well. Right. See, I do quite like standing up to perform, but then I wouldn't be on the sofa. You know, I got to have a think about that. How to do the sofa while still standing up. Anyway, let's have something else new. Something really new, actually. Not quite as new as Wrote It Today. This is from this summer. I'm going to do a little spoken word for the very excellent reason that this one has not grown a reliable tune yet. I commend to you, my friends, Illyria Theatre. We went to see them do Midsummer Night's Dream, absolutely on a whim. An advert flashed up on Facebook. We've been thinking, oh, wouldn't it be nice to see some theatre sometime? And there it was, and it was close enough. It was a day we could make it. I went click, click, click. Oh, look, they've got tickets. Bing, got tickets. And off we went. And we saw 5 actors perform Midsummer Night's Dream in the Pocket Pop-Up Park in Calne, which is a lovely volunteer-run, volunteer-led place where they have all sorts of events during the summer. Well worth a visit, well worth some support. And Illyria Theatre, they travel around all over the place doing, well, I've only seen them once, so I don't know, but it was quirky, it was real, it was funny as I don't know what. We belly laughed so much. And when you know a play and you've seen it a bunch of times and you know the story and you know the funny lines and people can still make you laugh with it, that's wonderful. That's really wonderful. So I wrote this and it decided to not grow a tune yet. At the end of the summer, last night in the park, close to the river from sundown to dark, the good people gathered on the kindliest of days to witness and watch one of William's plays. There were only 5 actors. They played all the roles, so clever, so funny, such bright-hearted souls. And if William were watching, I think he'd be pleased that his words were still spoken by such players as these. We laughed till we hurt, watching William's dream, the lovers, the craftsmen, the fey king and queen. And the whimsical thought that delights me the most is how happy and proud it would make Shakespeare's ghost. 400 years after the bard passed away, the plays he created find audience today. So come ready to laugh, and perhaps when you do, Shakespeare's ghost will be there, and he'll be laughing too. I just had the notion sitting there, you see, laughing my head off, that if Shakespeare's ghost could sort of apparate wherever his plays are performed, he would have been having an absolute ball, sitting in a deck chair with a bit of cake and, I don't know, maybe some good ale. He'd have had to bring that with him, I think. And just loving the fact that these 5 actors together with swift costume changes and a lot of physical humour and just 5 bright-hearted souls. It's like you fell in love with all of them, you know, on stage through the course of that evening. And light till dark, the light fell while we were watching, and we got sunset and beautiful, beautiful. Well, where am I at now? I'm at that point in the good. I've gone off piece with the set list. All is well with the world. That's because I didn't look at the set list and went with what do I remember. Yes, please do, Marina. They travel all over the country and do all sorts of things, and we just loved it. It was on a whim, and I can't wait to see what they do next year and to go back and support them some more. Now, I would tell you what this one comes from in terms of years if I'd written that down, but I didn't. I wrote this song a long time ago, and some of you, I've got pins and needles on my leg, excuse me. Liquid break, stamp my foot, pins and needles, ow. Gotta get elephant feet for the sofa. Yeah, well, that's what I thought, Hannah. Yeah, if it doesn't get one, you know, but it's had a little outing now, and I've got to tell you about the people that inspired it, so that's good. So do you want another old song? You're going to get another old song. It's what's on the it's what's on the set list. Like, I have to stick to that, but you're getting another old song, like really old, definitely last century, and then some, but it's on theme. Here we go. Wish me luck. It's been a while. He sleeps the deep, deep sleep of a sated lover. He dreams the twisting dreams of a human man. She leaves the tumbled bed and the warm bed cover, shuts the bedroom door with a gentle hand. She needs no candlelight when the full moon calls her. Her cambric gown lies on the floor. She puts on velvet like a second skin, beast without, woman within. She puts on velvet, look at her, she knows what's next, nothing good. She puts on velvet, fits like a glove. She doesn't hate, she doesn't love. She's a beast without and a woman within. When she puts on velvet like a second skin. She stalks the deep dark woods like a savage creature. She hunts because she needs to kill. She scents the prey and touches a brief bright rapture. It never lasts, but she knows what will. She stills, she leaps and her neck snaps backward. She feeds till the hunger is appeased. She puts on velvet like a second skin, beast without, woman within. She puts on velvet, look at her, she knows what's next, nothing good. She puts on velvet, fits like a glove. She doesn't hate, she doesn't love. She's a beast without and a woman within. When she puts on velvet like a second skin. She's home to wash herself of the blood she's wearing. Her lover's still asleep upstairs. He barely stirs. She slips in beside him, swearing it'll never be his blood she wears. So long as some dumb beast can be found by morning, the kiss which wakes her lover needn't hurt. She puts on velvet like a second skin, beast without, woman within. She puts on velvet, look at her, she knows what's next, nothing good. She puts on velvet, it's like a glove. She doesn't hate, she doesn't love. She's a beast without and a woman within. When she puts on velvet like a second skin, like a second skin. She puts on velvet, it's like a glove. She doesn't hate or love, but she's a beast without and a woman within. When she puts on velvet like a second skin. Second skin. Oh, been a while. Now, I don't know if Daniel's watching this. Daniel Kelly, an Australian folk singer, and he's found the folk community and he does wonderful folk songs, and he did a very lovely series of spooky YouTubes. His spookulele, as one of his instruments is the ukulele. So anyway, Daniel Kelly, check him out on YouTube and all the things, because one of the songs he did for his spookulele, where he did a YouTube of a spooky song all the way through October, he did a lovely cover of Velvet. It's very different, it would have to be, very different, different sort of shape melody. He's got a very different voice, very down in boots, gorgeous, gorgeous dark voice, lovely. And the conversation where he was gathering together spooky songs to cover, someone kindly suggested this song, and he went and checked it out, and he came back to the online conversation. This is quite aside from me saying stuff, and said, yeah, said, I'm not altogether sure I'm ready to get that raunchy with a ukulele. Which I kind of almost want that on a t-shirt, you know, get raunchy with a ukulele, or not ready to get raunchy with a ukulele. Anyway, it made me giggle. I am always, always delighted when people sing my songs, including when you need to change them to fit your voice, your instrumentation, your community choir, whatever it is. And with that smooth little link there, I'm going to tell you about what I'm doing with some of my songs at the moment is putting the scores for them, the actual dots on lines, which I know I don't generally do things with, but I'm trying really hard to get the dots on the lines available on my website. So www.talis.net. If you look at talis.net, my website, you'll find there's a songbook section, and the songbook has a whole load of different clumps of songs from different albums and things. And then there's a section saying songs for choirs, activists, community choirs, movers and shakers, and so on. Because it's been my absolute honour to have a few folks who are connected to things like community choirs express interest in singing some of my songs. Not the spooky songs that I'm singing tonight, you understand, so much. But certain of my songs that are, you know, the kindly ones. So I'm trying to make them available. And my wonderful web mistress, Bethan Unsworth, also check out Reforest the Web. Is it Reforest the Web? I hope it's Reforest the Web. Bethan, if you're there, do pop a link down. Anyhow, she's my web mistress. She's wonderful. I love working with her. Together we're building a little collection of songs, so you can not just see the lyric on my songbook, but for the ones in this activist songbook bit, you can find the score. So you can hopefully print them out and go, hey, people who read music, which isn't me, you know, here's the birds on the wires, so to speak. Anyway, which is an aside from I love when people sing my songs. I love when people cover my songs. And if you're ever thinking of doing one of my songs and then it's somewhere where I'm at, don't not do it because I'm there, because I would love to hear it. I really would. So, yeah. Having mentioned www.talis.net, which is my website, as many of you know, and the songbook facility on there, which has lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of lyrics. I'm also going to mention, if I may, that I do have a Patreon. I don't run it as I will do this every month, because I don't think that would be good for me and my creativity. So it's just a slightly different tip jar to the Ko-fi tip jar that I also have. So if you enjoy my work and you'd like to help support me in that, then yeah, there's a Ko-fi tip jar for me, and there's a Patreon for me, and otherwise just, you know, enjoy the music, because we've got to share what we can, really, haven't we? So anyhow, could I add ABC of the moment? There is an ABC, yes, there is an ABC section. It's just not very populated yet. So we're working on that too. Yeah. Lovely. Oh yes, please do. No, please do sing one of my songs. And if the lyric for a song you want is not on my website, or you can't find it on my website, drop me a line. You know, pick me up on Facebook, or drop me an email or something and say, Talis, please can you send me? And I will do my best to do that and facilitate it. Okay. Right, where have we got to? We've got to about here. Oh, new song time. Off with the capo time. Very new. Wrote the lyric, possibly as much as a month ago. And the music came through just a few days back. So I think one person possibly watching and listening has heard this, but only one. Let's see what I can do. It's kind of got a riddle in, kind of. I'll tell you about that later, or maybe another time. But it all means something. 1 for sorrow, 2 for trust, 3 for lies and 4 for lust, 5 for beeswax, 6 for rope, then comes solace, then comes hope. The acorn hunters, flash of white, the clever, fearless slice of night, go cloaked and hooded in disguise, or watch the wind with pale eyes. Scarlet legs and scarlet bill, a castle on a broken hill. Here is memory, here is thought, the dapper thief is seldom caught. 1 for sorrow, 2 for trust, 3 for lies and 4 for rust, 5 for beeswax, 6 for rope, then comes solace, then comes hope. 1 for sorrow, 2 for trust, 3 for lies and 4 for lust, 5 for beeswax, 6 for rope, then comes solace, then comes hope. Afterfeather, vein and shaft, grief begone and sorrows past. Afterfeather, barb and vein, joyfulness be yours again. 1 for sorrow, 3 for lies, 5 for beeswax, then comes solace, then comes solace. 9 for blood and 10 for bone, feathers found and carried home. It's called Afterfeather. The riddle is, and you'll need to listen very carefully to catch the lyrics, the riddle is that in the first verse-shaped thing, every line represents 1 out of 8 somethings. So if you catch one of them, then you might figure out what the other 7 are. And I think that's all I'm going to tell you. Yeah, let's just leave that there. Afterfeather. It's kind of making up folklore again, isn't it? 1 for sorrow, 2 for trust, 3 for lies and 4 for lust. Sometimes I sing rust. That works too, you know, regional variant. 5 for beeswax, 6 for rope. Definite extra points for anybody who gets the beeswax and rope reference, because I think I've only gigged that about twice. Then comes solace, then comes hope. And we all need a bunch of those, don't we? Right. Coming close to the end of what I've kind of got set up to sing, really. Counting songs, yeah, it's kind of, counting songs are fun. There should be a yeah, sort of a subcategory of counting songs, like shanties. Yeah, county shanty, shanty canty, shush. Right. Oh, now this is nice because of course I did Shakespeare's Ghost earlier, and that's sort of where this comes from. Aha, can't feel my leg. What haven't I mentioned that I was going to mention? I'm sure I was going to witter about some things. I've told you about that. I've told you about that. I've shown you my pumpkin. Yeah, I kind of wittered about a bunch of stuff, really. It's been a while since my last kitchen session. Sounds like the start of a confessional, isn't it? Because I've been singing other places. I did a song swap with Piers Cooley, who does lovely things online every Friday on his YouTube channel. And I've got coming up next Saturday, I'm doing a half-hour set for the online Oricon convention. I must put a link of that somewhere on my Facebook, etc, etc. That'll be, I think, on Saturday evening at 5:30, I believe. So that'll be a half hour of whatever I decide I'm singing then. There may be repeats of what you've heard tonight, but there'll be some other things too. What else have I got coming up? I'm doing Festival of the Living Rooms online later in December. But my next kitchen session, and I'll find a date to do this sometime in November, is probably going to be This Was the Year 2017, and I'm going to make it all songs I wrote in one specific year because I think that'd be fun and a different way to approach it. I really like doing themed sets because it prompts me to go through songs I've never sung or never finished and polish them up and bring out the best song that it can be, and sometimes write something new for the theme as well. I really like the challenge of that, and it's fun to bring things out of the past, out of my baskets of lyrics, and go, this, I can make this into a thing and I can sing it now. Right. Some of you have heard this one, but I've only sung it a couple of times really so far, and I'm dearly fond of it. It's one of those that kind of made me cry writing it, and I think it's made other people cry hearing it, but kind of in a good way. In a good way. Content warning. No, it is okay. It's positive, really. It's called A Different Ophelia. I lay down in the water with lilies all around me. I did not drown. I was done. I was ready. My grief had overwhelmed me. I did not drown. So I waited a while, and another while longer. Still I did not drown, and I found something persistent as I lay there in the river. Still I did not drown. It was cold in the water. There I was, still living. Despite all, I did not drown. And the sky and the canopy of trees were so forgiving. Despite all, I did not drown. I sat up in the water, pushed back my sodden hair, and said, well, I did not drown. My gown clung dripping to my unrepentant body. I said, well, I did not drown. I stood up and almost stumbled like the newborn soul I surely was, and I could breathe. I did not drown, and I made my way towards the bank I'd never climbed before. There I took my leave, the day I did not drown. I made choices, I grew older, changed my name for a daughter, and I'm glad I did not drown. And I thank the gentle river and the lilies in the water for that day I did not drown. I did not drown. That was another Ophelia. I did not drown. That see. I said it was all right. I said it was all right. Whew. So I have all these songs. I have a hatful of songs. It's all I can do to keep up with them at the moment. What I don't have at the moment is very much booked up for next year for gigs. So I'm touting, folks. Nothing is promised. Life is short. If you ever thought you fancied having me come and do a house concert, or sing for your picnic, or in your local library, or yarn shop, or bookshop, or at an interfaith event, at a pagan event, for a grove, for a gathering, for an eco thing, for a birthday party, you know, drop me a line. Let's make it happen. I've got these songs. I want to sing them. I want to share them. And yeah, you know, have wheels, can travel. I just need me a bit of electric at night to plug in so I can, you know, breathe. And yeah, I'm going to have to work on travelling a bit. That's a bit further. I know. But I'm working on that. Right. For possibly the last song, because it would be silly if I didn't do the one that I took the title from, wouldn't it? This is really good value for money, this one, because let's see. We like ghosts, so it's a ghost story. We like knitting. I've got all my knitting songs, so there's knitting in this song, and of course we like a shanty, don't we? And we haven't really had a shanty tonight. So this song, it's got everything. It's called A Ghostly Yarn. Haul away, home. When you live in a house that stood 400 years, you best be advised to make peace with your fears. Remember your manners and try not to cry when the ghosts of the past come wandering by. I knew it was haunted when I bought this place, but I love a sea view and I wanted the space. The first time I saw him, I was mute with fright, but the next said good evening and he answered good night. Haul away, home. He said, what's that you're knitting? I cast on a sock, having finished a shawl that I needed to block. Not everyone knows that a ghost feels the cold, and a good pair of socks is more precious than gold. I never learned knitting, he said, too late now. Nonsense, I answered, let me show you how. So the ghost of the captain of pirates sat down, and this is the method the two of us found. Pointy end goes in your enemy's gut, rope goes around of his neck. Slip off his jacket, he won't need that now, and shove him head first off the deck. Haul away, home. So he pitched it up quickly, and that, friends, was that. Now he walks through the door and he takes off his hat. He shows me the project he's working on now, and if something needs fixing, then I show him how. And some of the yarn that I purchased in haste, he's cheerfully knitting so it won't go to waste. If I think it's ugly, I'll send it his way. When you're knitting by moonlight, all colours are grey. Haul away, home. Wind up your yarn all on the sea foam. Haul away, hey, haul away home. Wind up your yarn all on the sea foam. Tonight will be different. The captain has asked me a favour. I think I'm up to the task. It seems that the crew are all eager to learn, and I'm getting a ride on their ship in return. Are we ready, lads? Pointy end goes in your enemy's gut, rope goes around of his neck, slip off his jacket, you won't need that now, and shove him head first off the deck. Haul away, home. Wind up your yarn all on the sea foam. Haul away, hey, haul away home. Wind up your yarn all on the sea foam, and shove him head first off the deck. Oh, yeah, it's a bit of fun. Always fun to do that with knitters in the audience. Well, I'm going to pop that up there for the moment. And thank you all so very, very much for coming by to listen and watch and comment and say nice things. Spin some sea foam. Oh, I like that, bro. Oh, yes, 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 yes. I'm going to do a little blessing song to finish. Because why not? And we have blessing songs. And this one, a yarn. Oh my goodness, yes. All right, why did I not see that before? Yarn. Thank you. Very good. Very good. Right. One of my little blessing songs to finish. This one is on, pardon me, this is on my website songbook in the activists and community choir section. The score is there and the words are there. And I'm working on getting videos and links so that you can hear how they go as well. Oh, I'm so glad we have knitting. Yes, live action knitting. Excellent. I hope you've had a good day, a healing day, a heartful day, and I wish you and all of your beloved dead and all your ghosts peace and heartsease. And I hope I'll see you again before too long, and our paths will cross in music and magic somewhere. Go thou well into the day, may there be wonders along your way. Breathe in joy, the air is sweet, may you find heartsease to dance at your feet, and keep your sorrows at bay. Go thou well into the day. Go thou well, go thou well, go thou well into the day. Go thou well, go thou well, go thou well into the day. Go thou well, go thou well, go thou well into the day. Go thou well, go thou well, go thou well into the day. Thank you all. Good night. Come find me on YouTube. Like and subscribe, if you will, to my YouTube channel, and we can put more things up there. I'll catch you soon. Bright sewing to you.